All right, loungers, we are here for what would have been the 400 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to wait for a few people to join us, and once we get the ball rolling, we'll do the giveaway. I'm so glad that Mark actually showed me how to do it with like the comments and whatnot, and not have to go in and type in each comment or each person into a wheel and all of that stuff. But before we do, we got to do that intro.
The Avengers. That's what we call ourselves. Earth's mightiest heroes.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
All right, so I've got Ryan here. We're going to be talking about comics. We're going to be talking about COVID. Not COVID in the sense that there's a lot going on with it and people are dying and whatnot. And I'm not getting into any of that or the politics of it. I want to talk about the collectible side of it. We might get into some WandaVision stuff. I actually haven't seen it yet, but I've heard a lot about it. And
me too.
I've heard there's a lot to do with chaos magic. So it should be very interesting. Let's check out who's joined us. So Sean, good to see you. Peanut Butter, always good to see you, buddy. Thank you for all those subscribers, even though we ended up dropping like 50 subscribers. And Mikey, Comics by the Cover, thanks for joining. All right, Ryan, what are your thoughts on the collectible realm right now? I mean, it seems like that people just can't collect enough right now.
I mean, I think COVID itself and like the lockdown state, the quarantine state, everything like that, it's created a situation where people can't go out as much. We have had kind of a little bit of artificial inflation of our income economy because of everything, that's going on as well. But because people aren't going out, they're redirecting a lot of their dollars back to like their hobbies and their interests, things to make us a better people. And I think visually they're buying a lot of books and like pop figures and all kinds of collectibles they can put on shelves and put on a wall. And that way they have, something nice to look at in their house that reminds them of all the things they do love.
For sure. I mean, I'm collecting books that I probably normally wouldn't. And to be honest, this channel would not exist if COVID did not exist. I was bored out of my mind this summer and talking to a bunch of people in the community, and COVID had just, like, the restrictions had just lifted. My local comic shop had stayed in business throughout the whole thing. And I kind of was like, let's dive more into comics, to the point where this week I actually picked up this book.
Oh, nice. The Momoko.
I saw that
That's my
cover.
favorite.
I think, Mark, you're not into Momoko as much. And I thought, you know what? If I'm going to get a nice Power Rangers book, Momoko's one of my wife's favorites. I should dive in there, see what she likes.
There's so many glorious covers done by iconic artists, top tier painters. Like, that's great to get. You got your foot in the door. You got your foot in the door. I'll give you that. I would have happily read that book. I think that's one of two Momoko books that I haven't been able to get rid of yet. Very excited about getting rid of them. I have that Star Wars Insider book, and I'll give it to Momoko on the Star Wars Insider. That looks good. It's not done in, it kind of just fits that, like the dusty Western feel of those early episodes of Mando. And it's done in a very realistic to the show kind of art. So it wasn't like she was kind of really emulating her own style onto that one. But that's about it. That's the only one I can really get behind.
I'm not sure if you saw, but she's actually doing her own feature. I think it was in King in Black 4. She's doing her own book with Marvel.
She's doing,
the Demon Days.
Yeah.
That art looked very interesting. It was reminiscent of who she is as an artist, but at the same time, it didn't feel like it was just her influence. It felt like she was going a little bit out of the box compared to what she normally does.
Yeah, I imagine like deadline because at least as far as most of us Westerners know, we only know her through the cover game, you know, and so this is our first experience with her on interior art, and I imagine the deadlines mean she has to change her workflow a little bit because yeah, you know, no matter how good of an artist you are, doing all kinds of detail and stuff, you got to make those deadlines still, and so a lot
Yeah,
of times interiors you got to pull a bit.
for sure. I mean, it's very interesting. Sean, you are all about Demon Days, I'm guessing, with the all caps. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. I want to see what it's about. I don't think it's my typical type of book. I think that it might be kind of outside of my normal genre. But I mean, even with like We Live, I know that you guys were able to have that really awesome interview with them. And yeah, if you haven't already, make sure that you go check out the interview that Mark and Ryan did with what was it, Roy and
Inaki.
they. I mean, that was just a phenomenal interview. I was listening to it on my way into work this morning. It was wonderful. I loved every minute that I could listen to on the 20-minute drive, and I can't wait to dive back into it later on tonight after this live stream because it was such a fun interview to listen to.
Like when we last spoke about that book was between issues 4 and 5.
Yeah.
After hearing your grievance on it, like nothing bad to say about it, but just like after hearing your taste and your opinion of it, the little bit that you tried out, read it without me saying any more because I refuse to spoil this experience for anyone who has not read it. This is so much something that has never been done before, but it's your book. This was written for you. I promise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely have to check it out.
I promise.
Yeah. I'll second that. It's one of those things like it's an experience to live through, but yeah, like it's an experience you have to go through. But I think the blind experience is also like very powerful with this, you know. So I definitely suggest.
Okay.
I think everybody will end up liking it because the end absolutely did not see that coming, and I was all in on it. Like I was reading every issue 2 and 3 times, and I still did not see that ending coming. Like it blew me away.
And what this 5-issue run ends up being, like it ends up being something like story, take the story and the characters out, but what they did, the actual project ends up being something that has never been done before in this style or fashion. And it was just impressive. Like these guys were so slick to pull this off. Like for people not to get that information out beforehand, or like it's just crazy that they're able to keep it all under wraps.
That's awesome. Genuinely, you guys have convinced me with the times that we've talked about it. It's been wonderful to hear your take on it because, I mean, when someone's that passionate about a book, it makes it worth seeing what it's all about. For lack of a better term.
We have to go back. Ryan and myself have to go back and just do a hangout on just that, and like read through it again, because it's a 100% different book after you've read it once. The context is completely changed. It is insane. We're gonna have, so if you plan on picking up, it'd be awesome to have your take on it as well thrown in there, man, because it's wicked.
Yeah. And so Sean is saying, I'm hoping Venom is in, I'm guessing Demon Days. I saw Venom Eyes and some teasers. Dude, that would be amazing. I think that Marvel is definitely trying to do something more with Venom lately.
Is there any more?
I mean, King in Black's pretty big.
I think they're gonna go cosmic at some point. They're gonna do something major where he's not gonna be just an anti-hero. I mean, he hasn't been for a while, but I think Venom 33 definitely kind of proved that, where Flash kind of said to him, like, you're the hero now. You are one of my heroes. Carmen, welcome to the channel. I guess you're not in San Diego. I love that channel.
When they took Venom and put him in space and did like Alien, but from the perspective like of the alien, you know, like make Venom the alien and then do it from that perspective.
I was already wondering if Marvel tying in, now that they have the Alien franchise, if they're going to make them some form of a symbiote life form, like if they're going to just go ahead and
I
just
hope
throw
not.
that in. I hope not too. I hope Marvel didn't acquire them. I don't have faith in them handling that, at all. But
It,
It's not even as much the faith as like I just don't understand how Alien or Predator can possibly fit into like the Marvel universe proper. Like it just doesn't sound appealing to me at all.
they need an adult imprint, like how DC had Vertigo for so
Yeah.
long, and DC has Black Label that just stands on its own. Like, go ahead and know to bag and board these and tape them before you put them on the shelf so kids can't open them. I read, like, I have like all the Alien stuff and collected volumes and all the Predator and Alien versus Predator stuff. I've read all that stuff since I was a kid. That was the first time we had like big like expanded universe concepts in movies, was like with the aliens and the Predators and the RoboCop stuff, how that all ties in. But yeah, Marvel ain't gonna be able to handle that property correctly. I don't fault them for wanting to get a hold of it by any means. I mean, it's another property with a built-in fan base.
yeah. I think if they get the right writer for it, if they choose someone who is either from something in the past with that comic, or even if it's just an artist who has some sort of input on the writing, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I'm not a huge fan of Alien and Predator. I like the movies. It was definitely something that I enjoyed as a kid. I was a little young when it all first started, so I never really got hugely into it. But at the same time, I mean, with everything, I hope that they do it justice. But at the same time, I'm never going to hold my breath. It's just one of those things. I want to make sure that at the end of the day, we see this franchise that we know can do phenomenal. But like you said, I don't think it fits into the Marvel universe. I think that they're going to have to keep it separate, or they're going to have to do something with it without retconning a bunch of stuff. And
Yeah, that's me. They have the resources to pull a good writer and stuff. I'm not concerned about that side of it. I think they could, as long as they get editorial out of the way, they could find a team that could put together a great comic for those characters and properties. But they need to establish up front that like this has nothing to do with the Marvel universe. Like Mark said, like a Black Label sort of thing, so that it can't possibly cross in, because
yeah,
there's just no way. I do not want to see Tony Stark and Predator fight. Like that does not interest me at all.
Well, in defense of that, Batman Predator was one of the coolest events that they did with the DC Dark Horse crossover, as well as the Superman Alien stuff was super fun because they just threw it out there from the get-go that for whatever reason, unbeknownst to the readers and the characters, that the blood could burn Superman. So they just inserted the danger in there, and those were really fun. And the Batman Predator one actually is picking up a little bit of heat. It's nothing like you need to go pay an arm and a leg for, but it's a sought after book.
$500 raw.
No, God, I hope I got a bunch of them.
Mark's like, all right,
Yeah, mine are for,
I need to go pull these.
mine are for sale for $3.
I think we've got a love triangle in the comments right now. Not quite sure. Carmen's asking Peanut Butter where his jelly is at.
It's going down.
At least Sean's keeping it on topic. The Venomverse Alien Xenomorph cover. Second favorite cover to the Lethal Protector. It was a pretty cool cover, I have to admit. I didn't pick it up though. Again, I thought that the Alien covers were on point. I thought that they were really interesting and cool, but at the same time, I'm not a fan of it. I think I picked up accidentally the Thor cover without even realizing it.
I don't even read Thor or care, and I picked that up because Daniel Warren Johnson did the cover of it, and he's awesome.
So, as we were talking about at the very beginning of this, COVID and comics, I mean, Mark, I know you started your channel right around the same time I did in July.
Uh-huh.
So, what
was it a COVID thing?
Yeah, was it a COVID thing?
Oh no, not at all.
No.
I'm in the South. Like I'm way down here, so like people are dying and stuff, and like we're staying home, but like life is normal.
Yeah.
Nothing. They're like everything has to close. Like, all right, well, we're going to the store. You know what I mean? Like the only thing that closed really were the theaters, and then even then, all they did was they were to switch up where you could like reserve an entire room to
Okay.
yourself and 20 people. But yeah, there's just they tried to shut the thing. The only thing they shut down were little businesses. But I was on a bunch of Facebook groups for stuff that I'm interested in, and I had put up some stuff on there, like little videos, and I was hanging out in the YouTube community on like the Comic Jabronis channel a lot, and I was like, I would always kind of because he was here in Augusta before he passed away, and I would mention like my LCS and stuff, and kind of keep saying that he should check out the Power Ranger stuff, and he told me to definitely check out Burt Family 54 comics if I like talk Power Rangers because they do a lot of that over there. So I hopped over there and started watching a lot of that. And Steve made a comment one time because I mentioned the 2019 blind box that I bought from Boom Studios and how I did an unboxing of that on Facebook. And he's like, you should post it on YouTube. I'm like, all right, I guess if you're not going to go look at Facebook. So I posted it on YouTube and just naturally I have like all kinds of mail coming in. So more Ranger stuff. So I posted some more and it just naturally came about on its own.
That's awesome.
And it definitely wasn't a COVID thing. I don't like right now. I should be in bed. I got out of bed to come hop on here. I'm like, man, I need to go tell them, hey, like I'm in the sweatpants and the bedroom eyes.
That's okay. If you couldn't make
Hope we
it,
don't
I'm
get any
wearing.
pillow talk.
You were here with us in spirit.
Yeah.
Is that loud?
Dude, not as loud as my dog barking. You know, I bet you caught that too, didn't you? That crazy Dotson that I have. We're in the middle of this interview, and my dog just goes crazy.
Damn.
That's what I said, but quietly because I didn't want to cuss on it.
Oh.
Are you going to be looking at DC titles that are starting up next week with the new setup with DC? I mean, it's not a reset at all. It's not a reboot, but it's just a jumping on point.
Peanut Butter says, better not be gray pants.
Oh, they're gray pants. They are.
Oh yeah, dark gray.
Ryan, show them the gray, Ryan.
I can't stretch like that anymore. My pants can, but I can't.
We're not planning on fighting Deadpool. We don't need the brown pants tonight.
Right.
Are you picking up any of these new DCs, Ryan? Chris?
The TMNT? Is that
No,
what you're talking
DC.
about? Oh, DC?
How they have the, starting Future State's over. Next week is the entirely new structure of DC with all the shakeups and the jumping on points. Have you looked at any of those titles yet?
I haven't looked at them yet. I did pick up and take a look at this book, and I'm definitely interested to see where they go with Wonder Woman after Future State. So I'm definitely going to put that on my pull list. I'm very curious.
Infinite Frontier issue 0 Wednesday will be the first time you see Yara Flor again in Infinite, and it'll tell you where to go from there. It's going to be like one of those books that has numerous writers on it: Williamson, Snyder, Tynan, a bunch of people writing on it. But the Yara Flor part in there, you'll kind of get a real origin for like her coming to find out what her true destiny is. And I'm sure, just like with all those books, when you get to the end of her story, it'll say to be continued in whatever book.
Yeah. But
I recommend that Infinite Frontier issue 0 just because it's just a hodgepodge of stuff. See what kind of might jump out at you.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I'll make sure to pick that up. I love the 0 comics. Just because I feel like they do a great job of introducing just enough without going overboard and without giving away too much, but still drawing you in.
Like a nice tease.
Exactly. It's kind of like, I remember we talked about this. It might've been on your channel. I was listening to you guys talk, or it might've even been here, where your dad said he's tired of seeing an origin story.
Oh yeah.
And I honestly completely agree. And I want to just do a quick callback to episode 7 of WandaVision, where we get introduced to Photon. I think that the way that they're doing these new introductions, these new origin stories where you're getting little snippets of each character is perfect. I think we don't need an origin story and an origin movie for each and every single character. I think it's perfect the way that they're both parties, DC and Marvel, the way that they're introducing these new characters.
It's definitely easier to do that in a TV show format. You have a lot more time to spread it out and all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
But I want to address Sean says he's officially done with DC. The future state, I quit after all the number ones because all the crazy price spikes. Most overwhelming majority of future state is $3.99. The ones that are $5.99 are 48-page books. The ones that are $6.99 or $7.99 are 60-something page books.
So
and that was just something that they were doing to pack in content to a short time span. And I understand people's grievances with it because like some of those backup stories might not be something that you're interested in, so you might not have enjoyed it. You buy it for one thing and something else, but yeah, that's not how it's looking moving forward. I'm sitting here right now with going through the solicitations for stuff in late April right now, and it's just regular price books.
I'm wondering if Sean means not just the price of the future state books, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sean, but are you talking the price spikes of books that pretty much had nothing to do until future state came up? Because I know that there was, bringing it back to Yara Flor, there was one book that she was supposedly in before, and the price just jumped.
Yeah, it was free
because everyone thought that she was in it.
Yeah, it was a free book. The last minute, the little free book that they put out for local comic shop day was the preview book, and it was just literally a preview of what's going to be in future state. And the same people that say Miles' first appearance was in the Marvel preview, that literally the solicitations, like this isn't the first appearance of this comic book. This is a solicitation.
No. Yep.
I mean, you can say it's the first appearance in solicitation, just like you say first full appearance or first appearance in cameo. But yeah, I'm not talking about prices of secondary market or spec game. I'm just talking about if you want to go buy a comic book off the shelf to spec on it later, or to read it, or to collect the cover because it's beautiful art. Yeah, those prices are going back to reflecting normal after future state.
Okay. So getting into the giveaway, I want to do that while we still have a bunch of people on it. So I filled this box. There's actually, I think I'd put 11 comics. I said I was going to do 8 or 9. I jumped it up to 10. And last I counted, I'm pretty sure I'd put in 11. I'm going to check it and make sure that I have 11 in it. And when I checked the cost of each of these, we were up to about a $75 worth of comics. And it's DC, Marvel, there's some Valiant in there, and it's all across the board from the 80s up until now. Peanut Butter Wrestling comics. I don't know. Where can you get wrestling comics?
Southern Comic Geek.
Southern Comic Geek? Okay. There you go. There's your question answered.
Yeah, Jason just got some really cool old WWF comics in from eBay, of all places. But the publisher at the time was actually a publisher that was under Valiant putting them out, and he's a big Valiant buyer. Hey, look, you're back up to 405, Chris.
No way. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a 60 sub swing in 3 days, bro.
How does that even
how many emails do you have, Chris?
See, that's you on my ghost email, my ghost email, my ghost email.
I've got 2 emails. One is to let me know that I'm going live, which I'm pretty sure I know I'm going live.
Where can we find Sean? Where can we find Sean's art? He commented on how comics have been like his little break time from doing his art and stuff. I like art.
Yeah, Sean, let us know.
Plug your art, man. Self promote. You got to be your biggest cheerleader.
Definitely.
I'd
Sean,
love
let
to
us know
check it
where
out.
you put your art. We want to see that. I love artists. Going off of that before I do the giveaway, because I want to make sure, Sean, that you have entered the 400 subscriber announcement video. It's got pretty much the same picture as this video. I always like to make sure that I keep those similar so people can just kind of follow it from one to the next.
I think I've seen his Instagram stuff.
Yeah, 405. Sweet.
Sold twice.
So it is a 400 giveaway.
Yeah.
It is a 400 giveaway. It's not a 387 giveaway. So this right here.
Dude, yes. Dude, I've seen Professor, what is it? Professor Comics got some stuff from him and showed it off on his channel. And I think, man, who was it? Alex, Happy Family got some and showed it off. Dude, his artwork is super cool, man. That sold twice.
Carmen, there is still time to enter. It is our mystery box giveaway, 400 subscriber giveaway announcement video from 5 days ago. If you're looking for it, it's got that same Batman and Rogue on there. Like I said, Marvel and DC, I promise. And I'm going to reload all of the comments right now, just in case we have some more. Right now I'm at 43 different comments. I made sure to take myself out of there so that way I didn't win my own thing because I comment on my own video. So again, I'll give you like 2 minutes if you have not, Sean.
Dude, look at that.
Yes, I've seen that. I'm pretty sure I'm following him.
Dude, that is fire.
Hellboy?
Yeah. Dude, his art
That's
style
awesome.
is awesome. Got all kinds of Star Wars ones. Look at this Venom. He's got it in motion and everything.
Dude, I love artwork like that. It's
Professor
so
Comics
interesting.
had like Spider-Man villains done for him and stuff. It was awesome.
There's one that I found that's actually a YouTuber that does like motion comics on YouTube. It's very cool.
Oh,
That one's
that's so
amazing.
awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, P-Tor.
I have to say, Colossus and the Deadpool movies was one of my favorite parts of all those movies.
Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about relevant. Dude, that is awesome. He got his eyes lighting up and everything. Dude, these are amazing.
I feel like Spawn is one of those characters that a lot of people sleep on.
Yeah. But he's not anymore. I don't
not as much anymore, but
have you noticed how many people's haul videos have Spawn in them in the last 2 weeks? Like, yeah, I picked up Spawn this week.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I bet you did. Bet you did.
I guess it was like from 200 to 300 or something like that, where I never heard anybody really talking about Spawn. And then once they started doing that road to 300, that's when everybody started talking about Spawn again. Felt like it dipped a little bit, but the news, last week or the week before, has seemed to bring him back up again.
I just got like the 100 and all the mini series from that time era, and then I pick up random cover buys on them here and there.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. I have Spawn 311 when they did the local comic shop variant. I love that variant. And then Spawn 312 when they did that's awesome.
That's my boy.
Nice.
Spawn 312 when they did the Chadwick Boseman tribute. I love that one.
I just recently heard too that Sean Lewis is one of the creators on this new Spawnverse thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm sold on it then if they got Sean Lewis on it. So
that's pretty cool. Did you see how many people they have on it? Like, they got Capullo coming back. They have Brent Booth on it. Like, they've got tons of big names, like tons. Like, they don't even have that many books.
I haven't read or seen any of the announcement stuff for it, but I know Brett Booth and Sean Lewis and Capullo are all on it. So, like, that's how big that news is. It's just naturally filtering through because I haven't even seen a headline about it. I just know it's happening, you know?
Well, it's I would just go check out Todd. He talks about it and announces it all himself, and he's the best self promoter in the game.
Hmm.
For sure. It's always good to know how to promote yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, he talked about it in that sci-fi documentary about, you know, like how much he pushes himself, you know, and I think he's the one that says that, like, you have to be your own cheerleader. If you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you, you know?
Definitely. In all honesty, one of the things that I learned most when I started my first YouTube channel, Rev It Up 92, if I wasn't promoting myself, and I had no idea what YouTube SEO was, I had no idea what any of that was. I just knew that I had a motorcycle, I had a GoPro, and if I got into a near-death experience, I might get 1,000 views. That's what it was. But genuinely, with everything that I did, I was self-promoting. I was finding different ways to get onto Discords, get into different aminos. There was a motorcycle amino app that we did years ago, and it was lovely to get to know people through that. But you had to promote yourself. You had to get yourself out there and brag on yourself, basically. And I know it pisses a lot of people off because they're like, well, why do you talk about yourself so much? It's like, because if I'm not going to talk about me, who the hell is? So
Yeah.
you got to be able to kind of push and say, hey, this is my channel. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, I've never been good at that. I've always been not good at it, but also just like it's always been a weird thing for me to kind of like boast about myself, you know. But
Yeah.
it's something I've been getting a little bit better at. You know, the last couple of weeks, I felt like I've moved in a better direction on that. So, and it is like it only gets on my nerves whenever it's like somebody that's like truly kind of like narcissistic, you know, like,
Yeah.
like borderline narcissistic, where it's like, dude, you don't talk about anything except for yourself, you know.
Yep.
But most people don't bother me that much, but I always feel like I would bother everybody else, you know. But I'm getting better at it, so we'll see how that goes.
For sure. And I'm not sure if Mikey's still in here. Can't remember what his channel name is. Comics by the Cover. He's actually teaching me a lot about SEO research right now, so that's what I'm trying to like get involved in. He helped me out with that last video I did where I built the shelves that are sitting right behind me right now and did a time lapse on that and everything. So it's awesome to get that advice from people who really know what's going on. With all of that said, I've got 44 unique comments. So Sean, you are entered. I just saw it go up from 43. And I'm going to pick a winner.
Does it tell you how many ununique comments there are?
Brenda Davis, Scrappity Doodah. And the comment was, now here, peanut butter send me. Congratulations on the 400. So Thank you, Scrappity. That is awesome. And congratulations to you for getting that. So if I unclick everything and I just do all of the comments on that video, there's 50. Including the replies, there's 121. So I could have done that and I probably would have been the winner because I comment on my stuff 24/7 to get those conversations rolling. And again, that's one of those things that you have to do when you're a small YouTuber is you have to kind of know who to talk to, when to talk to them, when to post, where to post, how to post, and what you do to draw people in. And
I just run it like it's my text messages. When I get an alert, I see someone left a comment, I just comment back.
Well, for sure. With comments, it's a little bit different because obviously people can look at it whenever. But I know that with YouTube, there's ups and down times on YouTube of when to do a video, when not to do a video. It's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't looked into any of that. I just do it based on like my schedule. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
with work, and this is just fun just to do this, just to sit and hang out. You know, with people that like to do what I like to do. I just found
Definitely.
whatever time kind of just works, and I just
For sure. So, what new
Well,
books
you're
did
like
you
what, 2
guys?
from 500, so you must be doing something right.
yeah, I'm trying to hit 500 tonight, but I'm past that point of
he,
trying. It's after 10 o'clock. I'm burned out.
he's
I'm only
probably gonna
like
go up
7
to
away.
505 and then back down to 487.
Boy, I've lost. I mean, it hits like you always lose a couple here and there, like that
Yeah.
little once a month I lose some. And like I told you, with that happening, I got like a 20 drop overnight one time, and I don't know if y'all watch Southern Comic Geek, but he was just talking about it too. How he's lulled at 850 and he was up, and then it just dropped him back down. And when it comes down to it, I mean, I'm sure that those are like just random accounts or people with like inactive accounts and stuff like that. But Legion of Comics, I sent you a Instagram message uh, saying that I found your Instagram because I'm going to end up getting some art from you here really soon. I want to get a Gwen, Spider Gwen, because my daughter's first name is Gwen. And I want to get a Gambit because my son's first name is Remy. But yeah, Southern was talking about how it dropped him down, and it's just part of it. I don't really. I mean, it's fun to gain subscribers and it's fun to catch traction and stuff because it just connects you with more people. But that's not my primary motive. You know, it's going to be
Yep.
cool when and if it gets to a point where if hanging out, talking about my hobby helps my hobby become more affordable. But I'm not trying to make this a mainstay or anything. You know what I mean?
Pretty much every time you drop a $5 super chat, that just paid for one book on my pull list. That's what it works. That's how it works.
You know, YouTube be
Ryan,
taking big percentages.
Ryan, what's your channel, buddy?
New guy, Nuexgui.
And make sure to
And
check out the Miranda Brothers interview Ryan and I just did. It's on both of our channels. We dual posted it, same thumbnail and everything. You can't miss it. We don't care which one you watch it on. What we care about is you hear what these guys have to say about this book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great interview too.
They were total pros, man.
Yeah, I was
I'm
about to
so
say.
out of my league.
In fact, Inaki commented on one of my tweets, or no, he retweeted one of my tweets about it today, and he was like, "This
that's
was
awesome.
just like such a really cool, relaxing interview." I was like, "Man, that's exactly how I want to hear it described."
Yeah. Because Ryan does all kinds of interviews with all kinds of creators for you guys who haven't checked out his content. But I've only done a couple. Like I scored really early on in my channel and got like superstar artist John Jang on my channel. But beyond that, I did just like an interview with a local comic creator. So Ryan had all this experience. I was riding his back for this. And I was talking to him and just saying like, "You're gonna have to carry this. I don't know what I'm gonna say." He's like, "Well, I've got a format for it." And he kind of told me how he does it. He's like, "It's really just laid back. I'm just trying to hear these guys talk. You know, I'm not trying to lead it." And it was just, it felt really, really natural flowing. And it was fun. I had my couple little fanboy moments because Ryan's all professional. And I'm like, let's talk about how cool this was, though. This was so cool when you did this. It was
Don't mislead the people. Like, I'm the worst fanboy ever.
it was so fun, man. And Inaki, he worked for started at 2000 AD, went to Vertigo and worked for DC. He's worked for DC for over 10 years. Like he's a mainstay artist in the professional community. And to think that it's his brother's first time in this medium is just mind blowing.
Dude, I
What?
laugh so hard every time whenever you say when we ask him if he's like done comics before, and he's like, "No, this is my first one." You're like, "Well, you started out strong."
Yeah. Yeah. That's a man.
So Brenda Davis said they're in the mood for, Brenda Davis is saying hello everyone, and Peanut Butter is saying that he's in the mood for a new slab. So Peanut Butter 500 subscriber giveaway is a
Congratulations.
slab.
Brenda just got here. That's the winner, right?
Yeah, that's the winner. Brenda, you won.
Awesome.
This mystery box is coming to you. Message me on Instagram, the Comics Lounge, and let me know where you want me to send it. If you want me to send it to Peanut Butter.
Yeah, Peanut Butter might want you to. We need to address how cool the next person's YouTube handle is in the comments.
This one?
Yeah, that's awesome. The Kessler Runner. That's fantastic.
That is really sweet.
Yeah. Dude, when they made the Solo movie, I wasn't able to see it right off the bat, and I refused to hear spoilers, but all I wanted to know if they were going to at least show him pull that off in the movie. And sure enough, in classic Solo fashion, he falls, but he falls upward, and he pulls that stunt off. It was awesome.
Definitely. The craziest part of that movie was just seeing it play out. I wasn't a huge fan of it, in all honesty, the first time watching it. The first time watching it all the way through, I should say. The true first time watching it, I actually left early because we went to go see it at the drive-in, and the temperature was 80 degrees that day, and decided it wanted to drop down to 50 degrees. So sitting outside in 50-degree weather, not having blankets, not having pretty much anything for 50-degree weather, we're sitting there in shorts and T-shirts, freezing our butts off. And my wife and my buddy Dwayne and I were all like, you know what? It's been a great night. We got to see one great movie. We'll catch this movie on the replay some other time. And we went to go watch it again. It was good. It wasn't great. It was what I was expecting it to be. But I think with Rogue One being so phenomenal, I was expecting it to be that good, and it didn't.
That was all the director with Rogue One.
Yeah, it didn't live up to it.
He's a phenomenal director.
Who was the director of Rogue One? I'm blanking.
Garth Enner, however you say it.
Okay.
The guy who did the first Godzilla movie. He's just like such a visual storyteller. Like you could take Rogue One and pause it at any point and make a poster out of it.
Oh yeah.
And just going into it, knowing that like that line that Leia said in passing in Episode 4, a lot of good people died to get these plans. Just knowing that, knowing the weight of that, and then going into Rogue One with that knowledge, just like, oh man, this whole movie just has impending doom written all over it.
And see, that's what I loved about like just the vibe of the movie was you're expecting failure. You know that this is going to be one of those movies where the good guys win but lose at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just every minute was gripping. Every character I wanted to know more about. It was one of those movies where you're sitting there saying to yourself, okay, what's going to happen next? What's going to at the end, but what's going to happen to get to the end?
Mm-hmm.
And
how are they going to die? Are they going to die? How are they going to die? It was just as like intense as wondering if they're going to die.
Yep. Definitely.
Yes. When K2SO died, that was intense. He was a beast too, though.
Dude, that was probably one of the craziest parts of that whole movie. And again,
the humanity and the machine. Yeah. Like the only other time I've seen that played so well was with Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey, with the little robot board thing, and they kept dialing up his sensors and stuff, just like in Rogue One. But it was really good.
Brenda's asking, how's everyone doing tonight? I know I'm doing good. I know you're doing good, Brenda, because you just won a giveaway box. I mean, it's nice to meet you too. Definitely good to have you on the channel. I'm glad Peanut Butter invited you. I don't know how Peanut Butter knows all of these people, but Peanut Butter, you can keep sending them my way. You can send them Legion's way, and you can send them Ryan's way.
Go ahead. Feel free to sub up. 500 subscribers coming really fast here. Got a lot of stuff planned for that.
Definitely. So, have you seen WandaVision episode 8? Yeah.
Yeah,
Ryan,
I woke
you
up
said
early.
You haven't, right? Okay.
Yeah, I had to leave for work early this morning, so I woke up even earlier to watch it. I'm normally off on Fridays, but not now.
Do
It
you
was
own
all
the
right.
dog? Do you own the dog? Or
No, I
the
run it. The owner's like 91 years old.
okay,
Set it up in 1963. I run it.
nice. So you're
I'm
there
like
every
her.
morning at the crack of dawn.
Mhm. Yeah,
That
I video called Ryan the day before yesterday or something, and when the video popped up, there's just a big Springer Spaniel sitting there and me with the clippers in front of it. Hey, he's like, I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, what we do.
that's awesome. Have you guys gotten any mail calls lately?
Dude, I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris. I'll be right back. I think I took it to my bedroom because I have a literal mystery mail call. And I want to ask y'all if y'all have heard of this.
Okay. I've got one that's so tightly packed I can't even open it. It's
That's
from
anthrax, dude. Don't open it. Man, we got our mail didn't even run today. Like I asked all the neighbors and stuff because me and my wife were both waiting on some packages today, and no show. I went and asked all the neighbors and stuff. Nobody got any mail today.
Well, that's okay. Up in Rochester, we had 2 cases of mail carriers. Well, not in Rochester, but in New York State. 2 cases of mail carriers deciding they weren't going to deliver the mail. One threw it into the woods, and another one, I guess, had it in his. Oh, the one that threw it into the woods, a bunch of hikers found it. So,
Is this your package?
no,
Oh.
this was in my area up in Western New York. And then also there was some guy, I guess, trying to cross the Canadian border a few weeks ago. Legion of Super Sweet.
This crap. It really wasn't that bad, in all honesty. This issue was actually a decent book. That first one was horrible.
That first one was so bad I couldn't even finish it.
Dude,
I made it through like 4 pages, and I was like, I don't know.
Dude, if this was just a one shot, it stands on its own. I mean, it does continue from there, but the way that they start this and end this, it was all completely fine and self contained in here. And this was actually told a good story. They picked a character to kind of focus on, and just instead of just. Yeah, I
Was
did
it still
enjoy it.
Vegas?
Yes, yes.
Oh wow. Huh.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I did enjoy it.
you guys just keep talking. I'm still fighting this package. It says ASM. I have no idea what it is.
All right, look, I got home and I had a piece of mail, and I didn't get any notifications or something coming in, so I opened it, and it's not packaged perfectly or anything like that, but this was sitting in there, and I did not order this. And I do get a lot of people that reach out and ask me if they can send me stuff to check out. But have you heard of this, Ryan?
The book itself, yes, I haven't read it, but people really like it. Everybody in the burrito Discord is talking about it.
It's from Source Point, and yeah, I didn't ask for this. There's nothing to contact them or nothing. I haven't checked my channel email yet, so I get a lot of people that send me stuff on there that I'm really bad about checking. Or I have people that sent me stuff that I still like. This one guy sent me like an entire universe worth of characters he created, and I haven't even started getting a chance to read them yet, to review them and have them on or anything. But yeah, I guess they're just sending these out to anybody. I want to know how they got my address.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that it was unsolicited.
They zoomed in real tight when you were opening it.
Yeah.
That's what I always wondered. How did because I see what's up, Professor Comics? We are not doing any spoilers, I promise. The one thing I will say, and that we all kind of knew was happening with WandaVision, is that we were going to get some chaos magic. And the one thing that I have heard is that Agnes has now we know Agatha Harkness, which was that really a reveal? I don't know how you guys felt about that one.
I think the way that they revealed it was more surprising than the fact that it happened. You know, I think we all
For
knew at
sure.
some point that she was going to be revealed, but I really didn't expect her to just show up and be like, "Hey, it's me, and I have this awesome theme song."
I think that at this point in the show, I'm not expecting much out of it. Like, there's a lot of hype expecting this person or that person to come in, and it's kind of just really straightforward what it is. I was hoping for them to push a lot more boundaries in this new format of taking the movie universe to the shows. But it's one of those things we're just gonna have to get happy with what they give us. And if you're familiar with the characters or the kind of the content or where some of the stuff they're sourcing from, none of this has been surprising or revealing. And that's how
Yeah.
this episode was. I mean, it was a fun episode to watch, but there was nothing that was like awesome until like the after credit scene, which was just a little dangle of something. So who knows how they're going to play that? But that also seeing the cast of characters you'd expect to get to that point anyways, because again, that's just the progression of these characters through their actual history.
Yeah,
Oh, this is from Wolverine Comic Shop. That's who it is. I totally forgot that I even got these books. My wife might kill me. That's actually a video that I really want to do at one of these points is how do you guys hide your mail calls from your wife if they don't know about it?
I don't.
there's this TikTok video, and like this lady's like sitting there and her phone's looking at her, and like the doorbell rings. She's like, "Uh oh, I didn't know he was I didn't know he was off today or something." And her husband comes from the side room or something and goes to answer the door, and he answers the door and has like all these Amazon packages. He's like, "I thought we decided you weren't going to buy so much from Amazon." She's like, "I didn't buy those. They must have just sent them."
Rewards.
Yeah.
How many times have you said it was a giveaway when it wasn't?
Camille would just like start like, "I don't know, people just give stuff away at free samples."
I don't know what to tell you. Well, one time that was true, I swear. All right.
You just have to trick them into spending money first.
There you go.
Like, between the
Remember
time
when-
you buy it and the time it arrives, you got to trick them into spending some money on something.
Remember when you spent that $40? I spent that $40. So first book is Amazing Spider-Man 173.
Nice.
So
Very
nice. I
nice.
think that's Silver Age. I want to say 30 cents.
What year is it?
Um,
No, close.
300 was the 80s. So I want to say that that's like early 70s. I'd have to look it up. And my wife works from home, so she gets all the mail. I just keep telling her the packages are giveaway wins. Professor, that is the way to do it, buddy. You gotta. I mean, especially when it's an expensive book and you didn't exactly say that you spent money on a book. You might just have to say it was a giveaway. Amazing Spider-Man 152. So it's got Shocker on the cover. I can't remember who it was that I was talking to, but they want to get a full first run of Amazing Spider-Man from 1 to 100. And I don't know how possible that would be in this day and age. I don't know. Well, it would be possible, but it would probably be expensive. ASM 162. Or sorry, not ASM. Spectacular Spider-Man 162. So Spider-Man versus Hobgoblin and the Unliving Carry-On together for the first fearful time. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm a huge fan of Hobgoblin. Anything Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, very interesting character, very interesting story arcs. I've always wanted to pick up ASM 14 for the first appearance of Green Goblin. That's one of my biggest grails. I know that it's way out of my price range right now, but maybe someday. If anyone wants to give that to me as a giveaway, let me know. Amazing Spider-Man 583. So this is actually why I picked this up. I was just talking about this variant because it has Obama on the cover. It's a very cool variant. It's not the first print. It's the third printing. Yeah, third printing variant. So it's a little bit different than the first print. But for those of you who know me, I'm huge into history. I'm huge into pretty much anything that there's something major that happened. So I really want to get the 9/11 book just to kind of have that Amazing Spider-Man blacked out cover as part of my collection. I think that would be a really cool book to have, a really cool talking piece for when I talk to people about my collection. I just haven't been able to find the right one for the right price. Amazing Spider-Man Pro Action #1, The Goblin Strikes. Not quite sure what that is. And 2 more left. Amazing Spider-Man 174. This was one of the reasons I picked this up. I love anything Spider-Man and Punisher. I really want to get the first appearance of Punisher. Can't remember what book that was when he was in his first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man. But another really cool cover with Hitman. And this is a freebie thrown in. X-Men 11, X-Men 2099 11, it looks like. The Mystery of the Driver. Very cool cover, very cool book. But anyways, that's my mail call.
Nice.
And I've got a garbage can literally full of the little pieces of plastic that you pull off of the plastic sleeves to reveal the sticky part that's completely full. I need to empty that out. I've been bagging and boarding so many comics, and I feel like I just haven't made a dent. I've still got this much, and I have to go to my local comic shop to buy more. This is what I'm talking about when I say COVID has not been good to my wallet. Because, yes, a lot of these are like dollar books. DC's Dark Multiverse was phenomenal to read. Definitely
Which one did you get?
that. So I have...
You got
Wonder
the Flash
Woman.
one, didn't you?
Yeah, I have Wonder Woman,
Yes.
War of the Gods. And then I also have the Flashpoint one.
That was wicked. What both of those were really good.
I haven't read Wonder Woman yet, just because, again, I've got so much on my reading list right now that I got to catch up on and whatnot. And that's one of those things that's kind of like a one-off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Whether it goes into something more or not.
It doesn't. They're meant to just be one-shots.
Yeah. So I kind of just put it on the back burner. I bought this for my wife. Not that one. Where did it go?
Peanut butter, like that. That's how you can display them. Just right in the middle of your dining room.
That's your dining room?
Yeah, I have an actual full man cave in there with a couch, big screen TV, statues, collectibles, all that stuff. But yeah.
This I picked up for my wife for Christmas. One that we still have to kind of read together. I know that it doesn't have much to do with the actual storyline of WandaVision, but I wanted to know more about those characters, so I figured why not. Peanut butter, this is the other way to display your slabs. I don't have them up right now, but I built this, and that space right there is perfect to display a slab in.
So,
So,
Chris, did you document yourself building that?
yeah,
So, what did you do with that video, Chris?
there's a video on my channel that says DIY custom storage for comics.
So, you're telling me if someone needed to display their shelves or store their short boxes and didn't know how, they could find out how on your channel in a few short
They
minutes?
could.
But did
It
you
would,
give them the specific building materials and all the details they would need to do it?
I did. And I even made sure that they saw that I had a circular saw and
Oh man, the only thing that would be better if you time stamped it so that as you were building it, you could go back to that video to the point that you need it to get the instructions. You should definitely think about time stamping it.
I thought about it and I did it.
Oh my gosh. So you have a flawless how-to video for comic stands? That is amazing.
The only
Get
thing
your
that
channel
sucks
out
is
today.
Billy Mays here with another fantastic product.
OxyClean.
Yeah, it was a really cool video. And watching your son come in there and help you do that was awesome. He's not
Oh,
much
for
younger
sure.
than Finn, but that was like that's when it got me. I'm like, man, look at Easton go.
Yeah, he turns 2 in a little over a week next Sunday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he's already into it. I've got like all these comics that are still on the floor because that was his pile for him to wreck and ruin and have fun with. And, it is what it is. Last Ketchum, good to see you. Glad you could join us. Thank you. We actually
Nice.
just hit 400 again.
That's a cool name.
If you haven't heard the whole story, basically we were at 416 at 9:30 last night. I went to post a video for myself and a friend of mine to kind of look at and see what we could do to kind of make it more noticeable and pull stuff out. And from there, we kind of, while I was posting that, I looked at my subscriber count and it dropped down to 387. During this video, it went back up to 405. So not at the 416 that it was at, but we're still over 400. So we were able to give away this book and still call it our 400 subscriber giveaway. So I do have a little bit of a teaser that I did not announce yet. And I'm going to announce this now because it is getting pretty late. And I know that you guys are probably tired of hearing us talk tonight. We're going to do this again next Friday, same time, same bad place. Sean, you need to see that instructional video because if I do it, I'm going to charge you. And I've actually thought about selling them locally. One of my local comic shop owners said that I could probably get close to $200-300 for this. Basically, all it is, without getting too much into it, is 4x4s. I bought 2 of them, 8-footers, cut them in half, and it can fit 10. And I'm going to try to fit 3 boxes on top and then 3 more on top of those. So technically, you could probably get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 boxes on it. But again, I don't know how much weight this 3/4 inch plywood can hold in the state that it's in, being supported the way it is. I think it could hold more, but I don't want to risk it and have everything come crashing down. So that's that. If you want to know more about it, go watch that DIY video.
Good video.
It was a
I'm
ton of
sitting
fun
here.
to make. The only thing that sucked about it is my GoPro died. and I didn't
Yeah.
notice it. If I would have noticed it, I wouldn't have finished the build. But I was too busy watching my son play, watching Forged in Fire, and trying to see what they were doing as I was trying to make sure that I wasn't drilling through my finger, which I've done before, and that is not fun. Last Ketchum says, I've got 5 pops. Only one I didn't get considered was the Pikachu peanut butter. You get any today, I'll drop a video soon of my haul. Very cool, Les. We love the shameless plugs. We know that Legion is the king of it. He loves dropping plugs. Real quick, while we're talking about plugs, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, Legion of Comics' channel. I'm not sure what happened to Ryan New Guys. Not sure where he left to. And another great stop to make, Rhino's Comics. If you are ever in Western New York, they have probably one of the best comic shops within, I would say, from all the comic shops that I've been to in this area, within probably 2 hours of where Rhino's is located. They are one of the best comic shops with hundreds and thousands of comics, new, old, slabs, raw. It's amazing. Definitely go and check them out, Facebook and Instagram. We always love to support them because they support us. And with all that being said, the other thing that I'm going to give away is this really cool gamer jersey.
Oh, that's awesome.
It is from our very first logo. I have not given it away yet. I've been trying to find the perfect time to give it away, and I think for 400 subscribers, it's definitely well worth it. So
What size is it?
it is, I want to say it's an XL.
Well, give me a couple months at the Golden Corral and I'll get it.
But it is a No Name Nerd gamer jersey.
What is that?
So they're a YouTube channel, and they actually have, it's actually a double XL, but I mean, it's probably going to shrink. It's 100% polyester. And No Name Nerd is a YouTube channel. They talk comics, video games, and they actually have a really fun Discord where they talk about Twitch, YouTube, all the good stuff. So that's going to get thrown in there. Kind of rep them.
I'm with last. Food is always a win.
Dude, I'm right there with you. Food is a win. Ryan is
I'm
back.
glad I hopped on here because I'm okie dokie.
My phone died.
Yeah, it is weird that you're watching me while you're texting me. Shall I send that friends and family? Wait on the response in real time. I'll stop texting. I'm getting 4 of those prints because I watched Professor Comics unbox his, and yeah, I'm like, dude, I need to get some of those. And I stay so busy, and I don't know who I follow on Instagram because that's not like my primary thing. Yeah, that's just like second. Like I'm not big on social media. I'm trying to be, and then I saw Tapia, Alex, he's an awesome guy. I saw him on get some. Like, dude, that is fantastic. I got to get some of those. And then here he is tonight. So it just came together like butt cheek. So I'm getting a Gwen for my daughter, a Gambit for my son, a Harley for my wife, and I'm getting myself a Green Ranger.
My stepmom just bought my unborn daughter a Spider-Gwen action figure, a toddler-size Spider-Gwen hoodie, and a Spider-Gwen outfit of some sort. I haven't been able to open that part of the whole gift yet because it's like all tightly wrapped and whatnot and needs to go through the wash and everything. But I was like, this is absolutely perfect. I was almost in tears because I'm sitting there going, wow, I'm going to have a girl. But at the same time, I can't wait to see how much she loves comics and all of that fun stuff. And
dude, it's a blast.
Her mom teaches about it. And, it's one of those things where a lot of people say this is a guy-driven collecting. It really isn't. It's
not in 2021.
No, there's a lot of channels and stuff that are girls doing channels and stuff, and it's really cool.
Definitely, and it's one of those things where it's like we try our best to include everyone, and if you walk into a local comic shop and they don't include people, or you don't see a diverse crowd, walk out and find a different comic shop, because honestly, the best comic shops are the ones who support everyone, and the best comic channels are the ones who have everyone involved. I think one of the biggest things that I've seen with Instagram over the past 6-7 months of being on here as a small YouTuber is the growth that a lot of channels are having, and it's a lot of female channels and a lot of male channels, and also a lot of co-ed channels. A lot of usually it's 2 guys and 1 girl, or 1 girl, 2 guy, whatever, or 2 guys and 1 girl, or 2 girls and 1 guy.
As long as there's no cups involved.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I was like 2 girls, 1 cup. Jeez.
But it's really cool to see. I know there's some really cool channels out there, and all you got to do is go look for them. It's not fair when she doesn't even know what's happening, Ryan.
I know, right?
One of these days we're going to be watching, and she's just going to go like this at your head, and you'll have no idea.
Oh, she gets up here and plays and stuff and all kinds of stuff. It looks like she's going to fall off the bed. It's crazy.
My son's in that phase where he likes to just throw himself, and he like throws himself very close to the edge of the bed. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to kill himself. Oh my God, he's going to die. Like, we're going to the hospital tonight, and he'll like catch himself. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have no sense of repercussions.
Spidey, Gwenny, baby. You know, the one thing my wife won't let me do, and whether I love the name or not, she won't let me name our son, daughter, any future children after a superhero. With Easton, I talked about the name Tony, but Antonio. And
you went with a baseball bat.
She wanted the middle name Edward, and I said, what about Antonio? I thought that was a really cool name. It would have a lot of family ties, since I'm slightly Italian. And I was like, and you want it Edward? And I think to myself, and I said it out loud, and I shouldn't have. And I said, Antonio Edward. Who is Antonio Edward? And Anthony Edward Stark, Tony Edward Stark, Tony Stark. And she goes, we're not naming our kid after Iron Man.
So she went with no Antonio or Edward.
She went with Easton Edward, and then her last name.
You could have just rebutted her and said, we're not going with Twilight.
It's a family name, so I couldn't really. It's a grandfather.
You married into him, so.
You know, it's one of those
Don't
things.
feel bad. All my kids have weird names. Everyone in my family goes by an abbreviated middle name. Like Finn is his abbreviated middle name. Laura, my daughter, that's her abbreviated middle name. But we went hard on the superhero stuff. Like Laura is Superman's mom's name, you know, his real mom, his Kryptonian mom. And if you read the Frank Miller stuff, when Superman has a daughter in the Frank Miller stuff, his daughter is named Laura after his mother. And then
that's awesome.
Finn's first name, like I said, is Remy.
Very cool. You know, it's just so cool to play with names, and when you're having kids. And like our next one is Mariella Rose, and I said she could go by Mary, she could go by Ella, or she could go by Rose. I mean, I don't care what she goes by, but and Rachel said as long as there's no superhero ties. So I've been on the low looking to see if there's a superhero Rose or Ella or Mary.
Yeah, Rose is I think that's no.
I thought that laptop was hitting the ground about 5 seconds ago.
It looked like it. It's just like the perspective of the camera. You can't quite see how far back things really are.
Yeah. So before we head out, new stuff on channels,
Yeah,
I have something coming up where we're going to be talking about cleaning and pressing versus conserving books. Making sure that you're not just cleaning and pressing to get a good grade, but you're actually conserving those books. And we're going to hear from someone who was a software engineer at Kodak and actually has been conserving, cleaning, and pressing books since he started just kind of playing around with it in the 80s, and then continued pretty much for the rest of his life until someone said, you know, you can make money doing this, right? So he started Retro Recollectibles. And I've mentioned him before because honestly, his work is phenomenal. It's one of those things that you got to support who you got to support. And he does great work, and you're not paying like you are when you send a book off to CGC and say, hey, can you clean and press this for me? And they charge you, God only knows what. He charges $12. I mean, to clean and press a book for $12, I've never found someone to be cheaper. Obviously, if there's more restoration involved, he charges more, but kind of is what it is. So that's something that's coming to my channel. Hopefully this week. We're going to do some research tomorrow, Mikey and I, and kind of talk more about it. What about you guys?
Well, we just dropped on each of our channels. We dropped the interview that we did with the Miranda brothers that are the creators of We Live, which is a comic series that everybody should be reading. It's something else.
Buckle up.
It's like next level, yeah. So yeah, there's that. I dropped a video Thursday of like comic book picks for March the 3rd, the next comic book day. And then Tuesday I'll have another interview coming out.
That's awesome. So who are you interviewing Tuesday?
Tuesday, her name is Carla Nappy.
Okay.
And she did a book called The Duplicate. And it's kind of like a sci-fi futuristic kind of tale where they have figured out how to like basically use nanotechnology to create new organs. So if you need an organ transplant, they can save your life. But because it's so expensive, most people end up in servitude over it. So
that's awesome. Very, very cool. I definitely want to get Ace Comics back on the channel. We did an interview with them a few months ago. That was a fun interview that Caleb and I did, and I want to talk to them now that their newest book has dropped. It's a really cool book about vampire, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, vampires again. But this is actually after he's lived, I think it's for like 400 years. And he's kind of battling what it's like to be immortal. And it's called Immortal. And it's a very interesting comic. It's one of those ones where it's like you either love it or you don't. The artistry in it, though, is fire. It is phenomenal artist work. And I know that, Mark, you love the artistry in comics.
Most of them.
Yeah,
I'm a Ramita Jr. fan, so that tells you I'm hard to let down.
Honestly, the artistry in these books is really cool, very interesting. That's actually what drew one of my buddy's girlfriends. We call her quasi fiance because they've been talking about getting engaged for God knows how long, and he is just like, no, not yet. We bought a house together, we have a dog together, we just aren't there yet.
Dude, I immediately thought you were going Quasimodo with that reference.
No.
Wow. That scared me.
Vampires never get old. Always a fun choice. Honestly, go check out Ace Comics or Ace Entertainment on Instagram. It's a really awesome book. I really hope that he gets to actually print some of those. I would love to have that book in my hands and see that artwork, and just have a really cool cover by him and his brother. Mark, what do you have coming up?
Well, I've had like a daily content dropping pretty much here recently, and tomorrow, what is tomorrow?
Saturday.
Saturday. I have the new comic book day video dropping of kind of what all's coming out and what I'll be reading specifically. I always highlight that. And then Sunday is my weekly live show at 9:00 p.m. Eastern. It's called At Week's End. It's a spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and more. Ryan there is typically on there with me, and I think we'll be joined by Steve from Burt Family 54 Comics this week. He kind of skipped out on his chat show this week to do something different. So he reached out to me and asked if I had a spot open. And I said, sure, man. Some good stuff to talk about. He's another DC reader like myself, so should make for some good conversation on that. And then Monday, hopefully, I'll be showing off this really, really awesome book that's supposed to come in tomorrow, but we'll see. But yeah, it's just kind of constant. So next week, I'm for sure at this point going to be announcing the 500 subscriber giveaway. There'll be a slab in there. There'll be multiple prizes. There's always bonus prizes for people who are able to join the live chat for the giveaway. Just ask Ryan. He is a previous winner. Just ask Chris, the Comics Lounger there. He's a previous 2-time winner. Boom. So these prizes they do happen. People do win them. So yeah, and I think you had someone in the and as Sean was mentioning in the chat, he saw someone just unbox one of my giveaways on Tappy's Family Unlimited comics. So giveaways for everybody except the people who don't win.
Definitely.
Yeah, so make sure y'all go sub up. I'm only a few short of it. And looking forward to doing that. They're always fun to do. I'm 6 away from 500.
6 away?
Yep.
Oh, we can hit that tonight. Come on, guys. Let's go support him.
Yeah. I was about to say, no shill accounts. No shill accounts. We don't need people creating an email to go do it. I want people, if you genuinely comic book content accounts. Talking. Yeah,
Five best emails alive. Dylon.
Yeah, and Dylon.
He has hot.
Because I spit hot fire. Yeah, Lass, if you like DC, my channel is the place to be. I'm DC heavy on my channel, and I just like talking comics, man. That's my thing. For spec and for store variant talking, I'm sure there's great places for that. But if you just like diving into comics and talking just raw comics, like the stories, like that's I feel like that's really what I got going on my channel. And when you get me and Ryan together, we get into it, man. It goes fun places.
Definitely.
And we take suggestions. It's always
a good conversation.
Yeah, if you're reading something that we're not reading, which probably isn't likely, because we are like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're pretty heavy into it. So we like interacting with the chat as well, and just that's why I'm here to talk comics.
I have to say, you guys definitely have some of the most diverse poll lists I've ever seen.
Thank you. I didn't think that about myself walking around every week with a stack like that from one publisher. But yeah, and I do want to go ahead and say this for people in the chat who might not know. Go to your shops and pick up Berserker #1 next week.
Because that new says At Week's End sounds fun.
It is. It's a blast. And that new Keanu Reeves project with what's the other guy's name, Ryan?
The writer, Matt Kent?
Yeah, the actual writer.
Matt Kent. He writes some amazing comics.
Yeah, and, interiors of it.
He said it.
The interiors are gorgeous. Like Jolie Jones, who worked on Future State, Wonder Woman, the Yara Flor title. It looks like a perfect blend between Jolie Jones and John Romita Jr. when he's on his game. Like it like some of the line work was really cool. I highly recommend checking it out. It is straightforward. It is what it says it's going to be. It's just in your face action, gore, and I'm hoping it kind of really digs into the lore of it all. But I think it'll be a really fun time in comics, and I think it'll be a fun conversation piece for sure. There's a lot of hype around it on the spec world, but I think from the story standpoint, there's going to be a lot to talk about and hope for.
Is that Keanu Reeves one, the one where you could like pay so much money on it was like a Kickstarter or something, and you could be in the book? Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a whole lot to that. Yeah. But it's just coming out regular release through Boom. Yeah.
I'm loving the Chappelle Show references because got Sean in here. I spit hot fire. Yeah.
I spit hot fire.
Top 5 rappers of all time.
Definitely make sure that if you sub, you hit that notification bell down there. We want to make sure that you are seeing everything that we do. That's how us small YouTubers get our views. We don't always get them if you guys just subscribe to us because of the way that YouTube works. We want to make sure that you hit that notification bell so everything that we do, you guys are seeing. Always leave a comment. Always make sure you smash that like button. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure. Have a great night. It was good talking to you guys.
Fire.
The Batusi.
Oh, that is an old reference too.
Still relevant. I need to go get some fresh Cambodian breast milk now.
And a midget holding these balloons.
And on that bombshell, we're done. Thanks for lounging with us. Have a great night, guys.